So the film begins with Ariel, who works for a media house and wants to become a renowned writer. But these days she isn't getting any big stories to publish, which is why not many people are buying her magazine either. And then one day, she finally comes across a sensational topic. A pop star from the 1990s, Alfred Morty, comes out of retirement and announces the release of his new album. Everyone was shocked. There was a storm of news in the media. What's even more surprising is that before launching his album, Morty invites only 6 guests to his private compound to listen to the album. Among them, along with our main character Ariel, Morty had also invited her boss, a talk show host, an influencer, a paparazzi who takes pictures of big celebrities, and a famous RJ of that time. When everyone arrived at the compound, everything seemed normal. In fact, it felt nice. But as soon as they arrived, all their phones, laptops, and other devices that could connect them to the outside world were taken away from them. The excuse given was that no electronic devices are allowed to be used at this place, but they were told that everything would be returned to them when they left. However, Ariel had started to get a strange feeling about all of this, but soon the party begins, which was the reason everyone had come here. And during this party, the most shocking thing they discover is that Morty is part of a cult, and everyone else who has come to this compound except for the 6 air members of that same cult, they all call themselves loyalists and wear the same uniform. The strange things here, the odd behavior and misery of the people, all clearly indicated that something was wrong in Morty's compound. Ariel didn't feel right about this cult, so at the party she decides to find out more about it. Anyway, it is shown that they were getting every kind of facility in this compound. They even had massages, and RJ was enjoying a massage. Suddenly, a bunch of strange people came close to them and, operating a machine, brutally killed them. The scene of the body being cut up wasn't shown though. But yes, it was definitely confirmed here that this cult is anything but normal, contrary to what Ariel thought. Morty also invited them here as part of some special plan. In fact, the next morning, people were even assigned to keep an eye on the remaining 5, almost like bodyguards, shadowing their every move, and Ariel was the most annoyed by them. Anyway, while jogging, Ariel spots Morty, who was getting his portrait painted. Ariel walks up to him and asks, "I want to know, how does..." He asks Ariel what you would call a group that doesn't follow anyone and doesn't do anything. While talking, he takes Ariel to a special kind of tank. There, Ariel sees a man opening shells like a madman. He was so absorbed in his work that while opening a shell, his hand got badly injured. But he didn't stop working. Ariel asks, "What does all this mean?" So Morty explains that we all do this just to realize that the value of a single pearl is greater than these 100 oyster shells, and this teaches us that not everything in the world is equal, and accepting this is a profound realization. Ariel didn't really understand what he meant, but she went back to her room. The next morning, while she was getting ready, a lot of people came into her room. These were all the labels. Morty is told that these people have come to groom her. Everything was fine, but then a loyalist asked Ariel a very strange question. "Have you done your personal cleaning as well?" Ariel asks, "What do you people have to do with that? I'm sure I won't be seen from such a place." The loyalist replies, "Yes, you won't be seen. But still, this is our rule whether it's a woman or a man. Private cleaning is very important here, and Morty has sent us here for this very reason." Anyway, after getting ready and all, they are taken to the party, where at this moment, apart from these 5 people, there was no one else who had come from outside. Here, Morty starts giving his performance. Even though he was dancing in a very childish way, everyone still found it funny. During this very performance, the influencer who had come starts coughing so badly that she loses control over herself. Seeing her condition, everyone gets worried. So instead of checking on her, Morty takes everyone outside and says that someone else will take care of her. We should get some fresh air outside right now. Once outside, everyone starts talking together about the loyalist, that is Morty's cult. So Morty tells them that our cult believes that anyone can become a god at any time. Anyone who invents something for the first time in their life, who creates something new, is equal to a god for us. For example, the person who first made a horseshoe to control a horse is also a god to us. While they are talking, Ariel takes her boss aside and says to her boss, "How about I write a story on this cult? Our magazine would become a huge hit." But her boss doesn't really like Ariel's idea. They were still talking when suddenly a flying arrow comes and hits Ariel's boss. Ariel and her boss were left completely stunned. But just then, some people came running over and a child started apologizing to them. He said, "I was just learning how to aim. My hand slipped all of a sudden and the arrow ended up hitting you. Ariel, a keen observer of human nature, found herself utterly captivated and profoundly amazed by the extraordinary display of courage and bravery exhibited by the young child. It was a moment that truly resonated with her, leaving a lasting impression as she witnessed the child's fearless actions unfold before her very eyes. The sheer audacity and unwavering spirit of the child in the face of adversity was something Ariel had rarely encountered, making this particular instance all the more remarkable and deeply inspiring to her. It doesn't seem like it. This all feels a bit strange to me. Look, they took away our phones and everything else that could let us contact the outside world. They're watching us 24/7 and who knows, maybe they've installed cameras and mics everywhere here and are even listening to our conversations now. None of these people understand, in fact they just make things worse. They just laugh at Ariel and say, "What do you think? Do you really think Morty set up this whole thing just to take away our phones?" When Sake realizes that these people don't even want to understand, she leaves from there. But she had already decided that she wouldn't stay here much longer. As soon as morning comes, she sneaks away from her guard's sight and slips out. Her very first plan and target was to find her phone. In the same compound, she spots a strange place a little apart from the rest, and she feels like there must be some secret hidden inside. So she goes in. The place was quite strange. At first glance, it looked like a bar, but there were many severed animal heads and body parts kept there, making it clear that some kind of ritual takes place here, including animal sacrifices. Anyway, his main goal right now was to find his phone, and finally, while searching, he spots his phone and laptop in a basket. And one more shocking thing that is shown to us but not to Ariel was Archie's corpse, who had been killed almost at the very beginning of the movie, and his body had been hidden here. By this point, after everything she had already seen, she was extremely frightened, so she quickly goes to her room, packs her things and goes to Morty, telling him that she wants to leave. Morty asks her what happened, what she wants. Did someone say something to you here? Did someone scare you? Riel doesn't answer her questions. Instead, she asks Morty where he is today. Instead of Morty, his assistant replies that he is getting ready for dinner tonight. After that, Riel asks where the influencer is, the one she had met that day. Morty says that he dropped her off from the hospital to her room as well, and that her condition is much better than before. In the evening, she will join all of us for the puppet show with the children. After hearing everything, Ariel still tells him that she needs to leave right now. So Morty says, "Will you at least tell me what happened?" She replies that she doesn't want to explain anything, she just needs to go. At this point, Morty's other assistant says, "That's not possible, all the cars have gone to the city at this time, and it's not possible to leave from here for another 40 minutes. Morty then says, "Look, I won't force you to stay, but please don't break the children's hearts. Watch their performance before you go." At this point, the little girl also starts calling Ariel Minnie, and even though Ariel doesn't want to, she has to say yes. Now, in the evening, the pet show begins, and this pet show was much stranger than any ordinary puppet show. Here, instead of dolls, they were actually mice. Now, the 6 mice here were the ones performing. These 6 people, or rather Ariel and her boss, had come here as guests, and the mice were representing them. Ariel found all of this quite strange, but for now she didn't show any expression. Then, the beanbag she was sitting on suddenly startled her, and just then, also, something tears its way out of it, and it's not an animal but a living Emily. She was the influencer who had gone missing a few days ago. At this time, several parts of her mouth were strangely swollen. She looked so terrifying that anyone would be scared just by seeing her. Ariel was already frightened. Her tongue and her eyes were so swollen, it was as if she had some kind of swelling disease. Ariel, angry, asked Morty what happened to her after all. Morty replies in a very casual manner that she had drunk a chemical. Because of that, every part of her body with more water would swell up. Saying this, he goes over to the girl and touches her swollen eye, and the eye bursts like a boil, with the fluid splashing right onto Morty's face. This disgusts him, and he gets extremely angry. Now finally, Ariel's companions also realize that Ariel was right, something was definitely not right here. When they try to escape from there, the loyalists catch them. Without wasting any time, they brutally stab one of Ariel's companions and her boss in the stomach, killing them both. They were about to kill Ariel too, but Ariel pushed away the person holding her and, seizing the opportunity, escaped through the window. To save herself, she runs and hides in a house, only to realize that it's actually a museum belonging to the loyalists. There, she sees RJ's severed head and also spots the chemical that was used to kill the influencer. Preparations for a party were also underway here. Seeing all this, Ariel realizes that these loyalists were planning to kill everyone or sacrifice them as part of their party. Before she can do anything or fully understand the situation, the guard comes in through the bathroom window, grabs Ariel by the hair, and beats her until she passes out from blows to the head. When Ariel regains consciousness, she finds herself tied to a chair along with one of her companions, and Morty, along with all the loyalists, are standing there ready to celebrate. they are holding champagne, and that very champagne has been poisoned, which all of them are about to drink together. One of the loyalist girls gives the poisoned champagne to Ariel's companion as well, and as she is about to make Ariel drink it, for some reason she feels pain for Ariel. In front of everyone, she pretends as if she is about to make Ariel drink the champagne, but in reality, she is untying Ariel's rope so that Ariel can escape from there. During all this, by mistake, her foot hits a vessel with fire in it, and the fire starts spreading all over the stage. The fire even catches onto Morty's clothes, and he tries to save himself while burning and screams loudly. During this chaos, Ariel got a good opportunity to escape from there. She even found a bike right there, and taking it, she finally managed to get out of the compound and save her life. The next morning, she comes to the compound with the police. The strange thing was that instead of running away, Morty was sitting in the compound playing the piano with the bodies of all 5 people laid out in front of him. He had just been killed the previous day, and all the other loyalists had disappeared from there. Then the police arrest Morty here on charges of murdering these 5 people, and the scene cuts here with 2 years passing in the story. We see Ariel, who has now become a very famous writer and is giving an interview to an RJ. Her novel has become a huge hit, and it has sold over hundreds of thousands of copies. In this novel, she actually wrote everything about Morty's cult, and it was because of this novel that she became famous so quickly. During these interviews, one day Morty's lawyer contacts Ariel and expresses a desire to meet her. Ariel found all this strange, but she still wanted to meet him because she also needed answers to some of her questions. For example, how did all those people who were part of his cult disappear that day? To get answers to these questions, she goes to the prison where Morty was being held. First, Ariel asks him, "Why did you kill those people after all?" Morty replies, "I wanted to take revenge on them because they criticize an artist, and in our cult, an artist is considered a god." Ariel then asks a second question, "Where did all the other people go?" He explains that all the people are hiding among ordinary people in this world, and they are also telling others about their cult and making them a part of it. After this, he thanks Ariel while showing her the novel that she herself wrote, and at this point, Ariel is completely shocked because now she realizes what a huge mistake she made by writing this novel. She understands that Morty had played a big trick on her. Everything that had been happening to Ariel from the very first day until now was all part of Morty's plan. Ariel going to that compound with her boss, observing everything there, everyone else dying, and even Ariel managing to escape from there, all of it was Morty's scheme so that she would come back and write about their cult in her novel, and through that novel, information about their cult would spread to the whole world. After understanding all of this, Morty now realized his mistake. Ariel was upset because even though she didn't want to, she had ended up spreading a cult to the whole world. In the end, Ariel even asked Morty, "Why me?" To this, Morty replied, "You had nothing to do with money or anyone else. You had a pure heart. That's why we chose you, and thank you. Because of you, our cult is now mentioned in every corner of the world, and people are rapidly becoming a part of it." Because of all these things, Ariel is still in shock.